Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Coco. Today we are going on a mini road trip. It's about a 2-hour drive to Columbus from where I live, and we're gonna go and spend some time in German Village, which has this really cool bookstore called the Book Loft, and we're gonna get some food and hang out and see what else is going down in German Village today. So I'm gonna bring you guys along and hopefully buy some books and maybe some other stuff. They do have a mix of used and new, like secondhand and new books, so you never know what you're going to find there. I will take you with me as much as I possibly can. If it's incredibly busy, it might be a little limited, or we might do voiceovers. Me, Matt, and one of our friends are going. So yeah, let's go ahead and go on a little mini road trip. I love your bandana.
Thank you.
Say hello, guys. And here we are heading up to the Book Loft, and you can see it's just incredibly beautiful on this road. Lots of brick walkways, brick buildings, not super accessible, which I'll talk about later, but very, very pretty, and I was really excited to check out what they had. They do have a robust bargain section in the front outside. Some of it was covered because it was rainy. I wish I would have gotten a better look at these. It had a nice Band and Challenge book section, which included the saying, "Caution, reading may result in empathy and critical thinking," which is very accurate. So the powers that be don't want you to read books, and you should read them because they don't want you to have empathy or critical thinking. Do I take you home? You'll have to find out if I took that book home with my book haul. But it had cute totes. I wanted everything in the store, but I was trying to meter myself, including this beautiful Wilderness Tales book that I have no idea if it was any good. It was just beautiful. And then I got hot and overwhelmed, so we left. Oh, we missed the farmer's market, unfortunately, but instead we decided to get some food, which we were always going to do at some point. We decided to go to Voodoo Brewing Company. We got pickle chips to share, fried pickles, which were very good, slightly spicy, some sort of delicious dip that I have no idea what it was. And I got a pickle pizza. And that, friends, concluded our trip to the Book Loft. Okay, we are back. It has actually been a day or two. I want to give you a haul and then get into kind of my review of the Book Loft. With transparency, it is the second time that I've been to the Book Loft, but I did go in summer around this time, like both times over the course of like 2 different years. So let me just tell you what I got and then we'll chat about everything else. I'm going to start out with this bag, which I thought was very cute, and I wasn't going to pick it up, but it has an inner pocket, and I really love tote bags, but I hate when they don't have like any other pocket. So I love the colors of this. It says Feed Your Brain, and it's got all these little cute little foods that are reading, which I find adorable. And then I got this Book Loft sticker, which I had a shirt that had this on it. It was like their 25th anniversary. Is it 25th anniversary? It might be longer. I don't know. I really liked that shirt. It does not fit, and I don't think I want to get another one because it is light colored and I probably wouldn't wear it, to be honest. And then I have this little magnet that I thought was very perfect. My friend Sarah actually pointed this out, so I had to get it because it is me. Now this one, this first one, I'm really frustrated because the stickers that they put on for the bargain books, which I already took off, this is kind of like felt, and I tried to get the sticky, nasty stuff off, and I think I ruined the book. But I got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I do already own a copy of Frankenstein. I don't know, it's one of the typical classic ones, but I decided a while back I decided I wanted to start collecting different versions of Frankenstein and just have several different ones. So I'm hoping that I can, like, it kind of got rid of the gilded or shiny part right here, but I'm hoping I can still do something that will get rid of the sticky part so that it just kind of looks faded a little bit, which I don't care. But otherwise, I feel like I ruined it a little bit. I got Serviceberry, which was also a bargain book. I don't remember. I think this was like $7 or $8, originally $20. And this is from the same author as Braiding Sweetgrass, which I still haven't read either. But this is, from what I can tell, it's a little book about how mutual aid kind of already exists in the natural realm, and that we would just be following nature and what our world naturally does if our society would be reciprocal and not have gatekeeping or require certain things to help out each other. So abundance and reciprocity in the natural world. So I need to read this. I also need to read Braiding Sweetgrass. This is probably going to be like a quick afternoon thing to read. Do the last bargain book first before I go to the other ones. I got Subpar Parks, which I've been eyeing. I was gonna buy it full price and I just hadn't gone for it. But this is a nonfiction book, and she's an illustrator and graphic designer. Her name is Amber Scher. It's all about people who leave 1-star reviews for like these beautiful, incredible national parks. And she made fleeting glimpses of one bear. She made all of these prints about the way that people rate national parks and rate them like 1 star. And she's just got, I don't know if she has every national park in here, but it's just, I love it. It's incredible, especially because I'm such a lover of national parks. I've only been to a few of them, and I just want to go to all of them at some point in my life. I would love to. I did go to Rocky Mountain National Park, which I will link the vlog where we went to Colorado, which is my home away from home. I want to live there. I seriously would love to move there eventually if I could get a librarian job there eventually. Yeah, I love the national parks, and I think it's hilarious that people leave 1-star reviews for parks where it's like, there were mosquitoes, and it's like, dude, you're outside. Do you not have mosquitoes when you walk outside your home? I don't know. Anyway, I've been eyeing that, and I found it at a bargain. So this was one of their bargain books. I think this was $10, and it's listed as $30, so pretty good deal. Online and other places, I've only been able to find it for like 20 bucks, so I definitely got a good deal on it. And I'm supporting an independent bookstore. And then this I'm really excited to see because I wasn't sure. It's probably been out in paperback for a while, but I hadn't picked it up. It is Evil in Me by Brom. This is one of his newer books. And if you don't know him, he is an illustrator, but he also writes these incredible horror novels, and he includes art in every book that he has made. I think it's painting that he does, but this is about a musician, and she lives in this small town, dysfunctional family. It's the 80s punk scene, and she is helping her eccentric neighbor organize relics, and they somehow unleash like a bloodthirsty demon, and she has to get her band together to defeat this demon, which I think is incredible and hilarious. And I actually am going to be reading this for Summerween because it just feels like Summerween horror. The punk scene, you have to get the band back together. Yeah, just in general, I'm really excited about it, but also I think it's gonna be perfect for like a summer horror read. And then, my Pride and Joy, which again, if you click on the Colorado vlog and watch that after this one, the entire Books of Earthsea complete illustrated edition by Ursula Guin. I wanted it. I saw it at Boulder Books in Colorado, in Boulder, obviously, and Boulder Bookstore. This has all of the books of the Earthsea series, which is her kind of like YA series that I would argue Harry Potter ripped off a little bit because this came out way before Harry Potter. If you miss the whimsy and like the magical nature and the coming of age aspect of She Who Must Not Be Named series, read Earthsea instead. But this is one of my new Pride and Joys. I didn't pick it up last time because it was so expensive and we were flying, so it would not have fit in my luggage. But it is just a truly like beautiful, it's not leather bound, but I think it's cloth bound, and just like the art, it's the same on both sides. I really like it because it's got this beautiful, incredible art, and not like a typical special edition, you know, these publishers just hawk to people. And it's got one of those built-in bookmarks, which I love these so much. I wish more publishers still did that. And it's got special illustrations, I think, for each book. This isn't one of the color ones, but, and it's got that like throughout too. So that's in the middle of one of the books. Like, look at that. Incredible. I love it. I'm going to be reading this, like this whole series, but this is the kind of book that like sits on your desk, and if you're going to read it physically, you leave it on the desk because it's so big and heavy. I let it go in Boulder, and then I came back to it, and I did get 5% off. They had it like that, and the Brom one, it was like 5% off of list price, so I got a little bit of a discount. It still was like $65, but it has all of the books of Earthsea. So that, with all the illustrations and everything, is actually a really good price if you think about it. Yeah, so that's everything that I got. I don't think I missed anything. So let's go ahead and get into how I felt about the Book Loft when I went there. So now I want to chat with you about my experience at the Book Loft and whether I think that visiting the Book Loft is worth it for you if you live in the area or you're going to be visiting Columbus or the surrounding areas. Going into German Village, I've never had a bad time walking around German Village. It is this tiny little area. I feel like it's a very just progressive area. I don't know if it's like their WeHo or just the entire city is that great. Maybe I'm skewed a little bit. I do live in a somewhat progressive area, but like if you go down to like Southern Ohio, kind of rough. I would say I notice like way more pride flags. There's a lot of different types of people walking around, and everyone seems just to be pretty nice and friendly, and the brick buildings and all the roads and all of the big giant beautiful trees and flowers are just gorgeous. Both times that we've gone to the Book Loft, which I think last time was over 2 years ago, they were doing a farmer's market, which this time we missed because I think it ended as we were in the bookstore. So I missed it this time. Last time we got some really good coffee that's like single origin, fair trade coffee that's directly from that person's aunt, I think, in, I don't remember what country it was. Guatemala? No, I don't remember what country it was, and I don't have that vlog up on my channel anymore. I was hoping to try and find that again, but as we left the store, it was over with already. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We parked, we walked. Parking is a little bit iffy, especially when we went in the summer on a Saturday, but we didn't really have to hike that far. We were like a block away, and the views were incredible. I saw so many dogs. So as we approached, it was just beautiful. I would say that they have brick walkways. There's a lot of old trees, so the sidewalks themselves are pretty bumpy, and you're not going to have a ton of accessibility as far as wheelchair users or people with limited mobility go. But you walk in, and there's this just beautiful walkway you go into. It's kind of like the back part of the store, as you saw in my video showing you us going into the bookstore. And it's separated into 32 different rooms of books. On the outside, they do have some bargain books. Some of them are covered because it was supposed to rain that day. It did end up raining while we were in there, I believe. So some of them are covered. There was some like under a porch, under a canopy that I was able to look at. And they do have bargain books that are also spread out in between like the newer books, just in section, which I thought was really cool. It is pretty much a labyrinth. They do have maps, but there's certain rooms you can only get to from other rooms, so you kind of are stuck like going to the cookbook section if you don't want to, or etc. Though they do have air conditioning that is really, really comfortable in certain parts, it is kind of iffy as to if you're going to have air conditioning the entire route that you take. So I don't regulate my temperature really well because of my chronic illnesses and everything. So I ended up really sweaty and kind of overwhelmed. There was a lot of people there. It was very busy. I did go on a Saturday in the summer. There was a farmer's market outside, so it probably pulled in more people. I did end up getting overwhelmed. I think we ended up spending probably like an hour in there, and I did show you what I found as far as the books go. I did find a lot. They do have a lot of good bargain books, and I love supporting an independent bookstore. I would say I probably would have had a better time if I went in the fall or on a weekday, which it's kind of hard because we have to drive 2 hours to Columbus, and you can't really do that on a weekday like evening. They're open late, which is cool, and I think they're open 7 days a week. I will put that on the screen. If you're wanting my review as to whether I think going to the Book Loft is worth it as far as independent bookstores in the Midwest area. Yes, if you go in the off season, on a cooler day, or not on a weekend, as far as like my needs. For me, that's how I feel. It was very overwhelming sensory wise, and I don't regret going. This is the second time I've gone, but both times I end up overwhelmed and kind of hot. So if you have issues with that like I do, maybe avoid going in the summer. If you're in a wheelchair or have other mobility issues, it might be a little bit of a rough going for you. So as far as like ADA accessibility, I'd probably give it like a D. As far as the selection that they have, I'd give it like an A-. They've got a lot of different types of books, and they have a good amount of bargain books mixed in, so that's why it gets an A-. I love that they had a little banned book section. That was really cool. Their merch is great. T-shirts aren't crazy expensive either. I didn't end up getting one this time, but I have before. The experience overall, I'd probably give it a C+, if I'm being honest. I do want to go back during the off season and maybe on a day that's during the week and let you guys know how it is, see if it's like incredibly different, because I feel like honestly it would be. And there is air blasting in certain parts of it, and they do have bathrooms, although you have to get the key to go to the bathroom. If it's busy, then you're going to be waiting for the key. Overall, I'd say C+, with the caveat that it's likely going to be a B+ or better if you go at a different time. So you'll have to decide 100% if it's worth it for you, but I just wanted to let you know my experience. I don't regret going, and I will probably end up going again at some point, albeit not in the summer. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other bookstores I should visit, especially in like the Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and New York area. I think it would be really fun to just visit independent bookstores and maybe some libraries, other bookish locations. So let me know where I should go next, and stay curious and creative, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.